Mariners be in play for another huge Japanese slugger? I'm going to cover that question today, along with some surprising players taking the qualifying offer, covering Jorge Polanco. Could we bring him back? And then a possible huge trade for a couple guys that are on the trade block reportedly. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mariners Daily, the podcast for the thinking Mariners fan. My name is Sam Edwards. Thank you so much for joining me on this show. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy this show, please hit the subscribe button, give a thumbs up on this video, and let me know your thoughts. That is the most important thing. If you walk away with this with one thing, leave me your thoughts. That's all I want. Let me know in the comments. I want to hear everything. Let's get into the qualifying offers here. Brandon Woodruff took it. Gleyber Torres took it. Freaking Trent Grisham took it. Shocking. Shoto Imanaga took it. Insane. Woodruff, I think, is the most maybe least surprising, I would say, of the group. He hasn't pitched past like 65 innings the past 2 seasons, past 3 seasons. Actually, he was out total all of 2024, pitched 64 and 2/3 innings pitched this past year. He did return to form though, a 32 K percentage, only a 5 walk percentage, and a 3.2 ERA. 3.17 FIP for Woodruff. I thought he was not going to take it personally. I thought none of these guys were going to take it, if I'm being honest, which is why they're so shocking of a turn of events. I mean, the qualifying offer is a lot of money. It's 1 year, 22 point something million dollars. It's a lot of money. It is. It's a lot of money, and we have a looming possible lockout after this season. So maybe they're just trying to get their bag right now. Yeah, Woodruff, like I said, rebounded quite a bit, and I honestly thought all of these guys could get multiple years in their contracts, and I thought they were all destined to just hit the free agent market, but I guess the draft pick maybe just held them back a little bit. That must be what it is. They must be just assessing their market and saying that they're not going to get half as much as they want to if they have the draft pick attached. So they decided to take it. Shota Imanaga, I'm not super shocked by that. He did opt out of his deal, but it looked like he just wanted a 1 year deal, make some money, and then hopefully go back out on the free agent market after a rebound season. This year was a kind of scatterbrained season for him, 144 innings pitched, so full season, but his K percentage dropped dramatically, 20.6% this year. Only a 4.6 walk percentage, but the home runs were a serious problem. 3.73 ERA, which is not bad, but the 4.86 FIP kind of speaks to the K percentage drop and also speaks to the home run problems. So he's going to take the 1 year deal, come back, hopefully have a rebound season for him. Curious to see how that ends up. Gleyber Torres was another key guy. He returns to the Detroit Tigers. Over a very full season for him, 628 plate appearances, 16 home runs, 13.5 walk percentage, only a 16.1 K percentage as well. He hit 256 with a 358 on base and a 387 slugging. So it's not like the slugging's that, prominent. He had a decent season, a 332 WOBA, a 362 X WOBA. He looked decent this year, 113 runs created plus. He looked decent. I thought he was going to reject it, honestly, because I thought he could get a longer deal. I still think he could have, but maybe not too much longer. Maybe 3 years, maybe 2 years. I don't know. Depends on what the market turns into, really. 2.6 F4 for Glaber this past year. But he returns to the Tigers. I really don't think he's gonna have a better season. Personally, I thought this was his off season to kind of cash in. So I'm a little surprised he took the 1 year deal, whereas I think Woodruff and Shota Imanaga can kind of rebound. Imanaga skill wise, Woodruff health wise, and return to the free agent market next year. And hopefully get a bigger contract. Glaber, I don't think that's the same situation for him. I felt like the infield market was maybe a little dry this season, this off season, and I thought Glaber maybe could get a longer deal possibly, but I don't know. Either way, Trent Grisham is the shocking one though. 581 plate appearances with the Yankees this past year, 34 home runs, a 14 walk percentage. He does strike out a little bit more, 23.6 K percentage, but not that bad, honestly. He makes enough contact that the power can still play. He hit 235 with a 348 on base and a 464 slugging. That is good for a 129 runs created plus in center field, might I add. 3.2 F4 on the season, and he's taking a 1-year deal. Like, I know 22 mil is a lot, but I honestly felt like he could get at least 15 mil for 3 years. Easy. I thought he was going to get at least a 4-year deal. I'm shocked by Trent Grisham. I really did not expect him to take this qualifying offer, and I'm a little disappointed because it makes the free agent market just a little bit less interesting. So that's a bit of a bummer, but either way, we move. Let's get to our player profile here. The next Japanese slugger that the Mariners could be interested in, and I honestly think he is a better option than our last guy. That's just me. Um, Kazuma Okamoto, he profiles as a much better defenseman at third base. He doesn't sound like he's elite at third base, but definitely a lot better. Only played half a season this past year due to injury, but 293 plate appearances. He has consistently shown to be very, very decent offensively. Less power than our other guy. 15 home runs this past year, 11.3 walk percentage, but he doesn't strike out very much at all. 11.3 K percentage. I definitely expect that to go up in the majors, personally, just because of velocity. These guys tend to struggle with velocity out the gate, especially over, I think it's 94 miles per hour. I think they can acclimate it though. I do think they are pretty skilled, and I think that's just it's probably just a product of Japanese players not throwing velocity half as much. So when they do, it's a little bit tougher to get there because you're not prepped for it. But in the majors, obviously you'd have to be prepped for it. Now, obviously hitting higher velocities is just generally harder. So it's not a foregone conclusion that he'll be able to acclimate and be able to hit, 98 plus from freaking Paul Skeens, but I think he will be able to get better as time goes on, obviously, and to give them a little bit more time to acclimate. Let's say, like a Seiya Suzuki or something, who didn't come out the gate super hot, but took a little while to get used to the majors. And now I love Seiya Suzuki. So here we are. I think Kazuma Akamoto could be a serious option for us. He hit 327 this past year with a 416 on base and a 598 slugging percentage, a 210 runs created plus. So even in Japan and the easier hitting environment, he was elite. So I think he could be above average hitter here in the majors. That would be great if he could plug in right at third base. That'd be awesome. The one thing that I don't think he's an option, or why I don't think he's a great option for the Mariners, first of all, 4 years, $64 million. That's what MLB Trade Rumors has him getting. I don't know if they're going to hand out that contract to him personally. I don't know. It feels like maybe 1 year too much. Personally, that's just what I think for the Mariners. I don't think they're going to spend too much more money, but I still think they could do it. That's not the main reason why. The main reason is that we've got Emerson coming up, and maybe not as soon as this year, but at least next year he should be impacting this team. And we just signed Josh Naylor long term, so first base is plugged up. So Akamoto would get moved to, I don't know, maybe he could stay at third, and maybe Emerson could just take over shortstop when JP leaves. That's a possibility. I'm really curious to see how they deal with this third base hole, because they could either go out and get a, serviceable enough stopgap option at third base, let's say like an Alec Boehm or a Brendan Donovan, who's everybody's favorite option for the Mariners to go get. I agree. He's a great option. I covered him I think a couple weeks ago. So just go he's in the thumbnail. So just, go scroll back, see what I had to say about him. But and I'll probably talk about him again anyway. So just wait a little while. Uh but so I'm really curious to see what they do with this third base haul. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I know everybody likes to talk about like big options here. Bregman is really cool. Somebody just mentioned him in a comment yesterday. I'm interested as well. I really don't know what they're gonna do. You could theoretically plug up that hole with a guy like Akamoto and just say that Emerson's gonna take over shortstop when JP leaves after this next season. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't know. Emerson still profiles as a shortstop, so but everybody's throwing him at third base. So I don't know, man. They could easily plug up third base and just say that Emerson's gonna make an impact next year. Obviously, they might not say that, but he does need a little bit more time in the minors. So I'm curious to see what happens there. Either way, we could bring back Jorge Polanco. We got some recent comments from Jerry Dipoto. I don't know. His talk of like keeping the band together makes me feel like that Polanco is a more serious option. Here's his recent comment. Quote, Polo is a great guy, and we have been in touch with him and his agency. I don't imagine that it's going to move as fast as it moved with Josh. So that makes sense. I didn't expect it to move half as fast. Nobody else did. I don't know if I want to bring Polanco back. Out of all the options, he's a nice DH option. He also can fill in at second base. So like, I really don't. I would not be unhappy. But if he was our only other major bat addition, I would be a little disappointed. I'm okay with it. I just don't think he's going to replicate the season that he had this past year. I don't think that's like smart to predict that. I don't think he's, a foregone conclusion that he's just gonna. Oh my gosh, why is the? I'm sorry, my header is wrong right now. What's going on here? There it is. Beautiful. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm losing it. Yeah, I think Polanco. I don't know. Depoto's comments of keeping the band together, like after we re-signed Naylor, had me going. So are you planning on bringing back Polanco? Like he made it sound like we're gonna bring the band back together. To say that instead of just like Josh Naylor is so important to this team, we need to bring him back, which I think was true. I'm okay with keeping the band together. I just think it's gonna cost more money than we should spend on those guys. I'm okay spending a lot of money. More than happy with that. Not my money. But yeah, I think Polanco's not really the guy. But if let me know. Maybe it's worth it. LB Trade Rumors has him getting 3 years, 42 million, which is definitely in our budget. We could definitely get that done. It's probably at the top of our budget, but either way, I don't know what their budget is technically. Besides the comments that Depoto was giving, maybe he's willing to stretch himself a little bit further. That'd be really cool. Maybe they're waiting for the trade deadline to upgrade their base. I've heard that thrown out by a fan. I would be a little disappointed if that's the plan. If they're just going into it, just going, all right, Williamson, you take their base until July, and then we'll trade for someone. That's just annoying. I mean, trade for him now. Like, what are we doing here? So, get me to Brendan Donovan. I would say that right now. Polanco's fine, but Polanco's fine. I would be happy to have him back, but I don't know if I want him to be the next bad addition, personally. Finally, we've had two players thrown around in the trade market, and they've been mentioned in reference to the Mariners. So this isn't out of nowhere, but I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. What star player would you rather trade for? And the two star players that I'm talking about, number one is Tarek Skubal, who will take a king's ransom. Let us not joke ourselves. They're not taking. Maybe they'll take Luis Castillo in the same deal. I don't know. We'd have to eat money there and plus trade at least three of our top 10 prospects. That's my opinion. I think it would take at least two. At least two. It's freaking Tarek Skubal, the best pitcher in baseball, besides Paul Skeens. Best pitcher. One of the best pitchers out there. Let's not nickel and dime it here. Let's not pretend like we can, fleece the Tigers a little bit because there's only 1 year left of Tarek Skubal. I get it. He's not as valuable. 1 year left. No guarantee you're going to be able to sign him long term. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. If we are going to trade for him, we better sign him long term. That's just what I'm saying. Because if you're going to trade the prospect capital it takes, you better pay the money it takes, personally. But the two players is Tarek Skubal and Ketel Marte. Who would you rather trade for? I would rather trade for Ketel Marte, personally. Mariners have shown a proficiency to produce quality starting pitchers from our farm. We have one of the best farm systems in baseball. Give me Ketel Marte. I know we have other second base options, other good second base options as well. And I'm not saying Ketel Marte is going to cost that much less. I think he could technically cost more. Actually, don't know how much. I don't know how many years of control, but either way, as a player, I would rather Ketel Marte right now. Personally, I think we need him more. I think his bat fits the lineup so amazingly well. Plug him in at second base and just start teaching Leo Rivas third base. That like, or put him on the market, go trade for a third baseman, get Brendan Donovan as well. Like honestly, if we get Ketel Marte, I'm freaking all in, baby. Why are we not going all in? Like, let's just go for it. Because man, top farm system in baseball. We've got a future ahead of us. We've got a young enough roster that we're going to be able to carry this for a good little while. You get me Ketel Marte, go get Brandon Donovan as well. Why not? Fill up this roster. Fill up this infield, fill up that lineup, lengthen it, all that good stuff. Ketel Marte is definitely he's pretty high on my wish list. Now the prospect capital is a lot, and that's a bit of a bummer. He'd be a great hitter to add to the lineup. If we are going all in, maybe you just go with the money option and therefore just holding on to the prospects, keeping us looking just a little bit better long term. Maybe you go after our Bregman. I don't expect this to happen. I don't expect Ketel Marte or Tarek School to happen. But hypothetically, who would you rather have on the team? Who would you rather trade for, Tarek Skubal or Ketel Marte? Let me know. Guys, thank you so much for watching, listening. Make sure you subscribe, like the episode, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Sam Edwards out. I'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good one.